Happy Halloween, everybody. Jeremy here. It's Halloween night, and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. I can see kids in here already. Um, I decided not to wear a costume tonight. I wasn't feeling very well earlier, and I didn't have time to put together a costume. Like throughout the day, I started feeling worse, but I'm feeling fine now. So I'm just going to go with it. I really wanted to do a Halloween costume, but it just wasn't in the cards. So this is me. We're going to create some Halloween art, and it's going to be great. I appreciate you guys stopping in on this Halloween night. And I was giving out some candy earlier. It was great. I'm really in the holiday spirit. I think this is going to be great. Hopefully, I can keep this. It's from like getting all over the place, but we'll see how it goes. So if you're wondering what we're doing tonight, is the other day we did a skull in charcoal. In fact, I've got it here. Give me 1 second. So we've got the skull in charcoal. And oh, hey, Mama Q, thank you. I appreciate that. So we got the skull in charcoal, but it's not very scary to me. I think that we can really make it maybe not scary, but more Halloweeny. Right now, it kind of just looks like this academic drawing of a skull. It kind of looks cool in charcoal, but I think we can dress it up a little bit. Yeah, like honestly, the trick-or-treaters around here are far fewer than in the years past as well. I don't know what it is. Tonight it's really cold in my neck of the woods, so whenever it's cold, they kind of target the houses they want to go to. But we did get a couple. It was kind of cool. So I'm just going to jump right in. So again, I did this in charcoal the other day as part of like these Halloween pictures. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the Halloween pictures. I've got a couple of them up on the channel if you want to check them out. But this is the last one I'm going to do this year. But one of the things I had to do is this is in charcoal, so I had to kind of like seal it so that I can paint over it. As you can see, the charcoal picks up. Hopefully that's not gonna blend with my paints and everything's gonna be cool. We'll see how it goes. I've never done one of these, but it's Halloween night. We're having some fun. Hopefully you guys are having a good time tonight as well. Hopefully there's like some spooky stuff going on, even if you don't have any trick-or-treaters. So I don't really know where I'm going to go with this. I was thinking I'm going to turn it into like kind of like a demon or a vampire or something with fangs. So that's what I'm going to start with just to get those in there. Plus, I kind of want to see how this paint works over the charcoal. Oh yeah, that looks nice. So I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but I did kind of mock together something that I can kind of use as a reference. But there's no real reference on this because like this is kind of like just from imagination. But I think it'll be fun. Um, I think it's going to dry a little bit lighter. It's a little bit bright right now, but we'll see how it goes. Just gonna put in these fangs real quick. Again, I don't know what I'm drawing or what I'm painting here. It could be a demon, it could be a vampire. I just want to look kind of semi-scary, because of the holiday and everything. Those are kind of tiny teeth. I want to give it some bigger teeth. So do you guys celebrate Halloween much? I know not everybody does. It's kind of like a special holiday just for people who are like into getting scared, like how like I don't know, like horror movies and it's also a good holiday for pranksters. I enjoy that. There you go. Got some teeth. I think this one needs to be a little bit wider, so I'm gonna do that. The other thing that's great about sealing this charcoal, it seems to be working really well. It's not mixing the charcoal with my paints or anything like that, which is what I was worried about because again, I've never done this before. Um, but it also lets me like put my hand over the charcoal without getting a bunch of charcoal on me. So that's cool. Yeah. So I enjoy Halloween. I enjoy making these pictures for Halloween, but I am kind of looking forward to doing some other stuff that's not Halloween related. We'll we'll see how that goes. Um, so I'm just gonna kind of like mix some white and blues here. So like half of this is going to be skull, I think. I think the other half I'm gonna kind of do like with some like flesh, I guess, of some sort. It's going to be like kind of this grayish flesh because it's still like an undead creature of some sort. So I'm gonna start with like kind of like a grayish thing and kind of see where it goes. So I want this side, I think, to be like half and half, half flesh. So I'm gonna like start some flesh over here. It's just weird saying flesh. Let's call it skin. So I'm gonna start some skin over here, and then I think I'll leave this side skull. I think that'll look cool. If it doesn't look cool, well, it's Halloween. We're just having fun. So, like, if you think about, oh, 24 hours stomach flu hit my house. I think that's why I'm feeling a little bit sick myself. Like, I just lost all the color in my face. I hope you feel better, Mama Q. It sucks to be sick during, celebration times and stuff like that. I really enjoy Halloween. It kind of sucks around here, this year because it's been raining a lot and it's been a little bit colder than usual. So there's like this thing called a Thriller parade where they kind of like reenact Michael Jackson's Thriller. They didn't have that. That got rained out. That kind of sucks. That's kind of like every year I go to that. Low turnout on the trick-or-treaters tonight, but overall, it's still fun. I like dressing up. It's fun. As you can see, I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I was just like, hey, I got some face paint left over from last year. I'll just wear that. So I'm trying to kind of follow the contours of the skull. I think there's going to be an eye here. And I kind of want to fill in some of the stuff that would be over the eye socket. Hey Ben, how's it going, man? Yeah, we're just hanging out on Halloween, making scary pictures. So I think I want a nose. I think the nose is the cutoff. Like half of this is going to be like skin, and then over here it's going to be skull. But I do think I'm going to put in a nose. So I still think my light's coming from this direction, like it is on the skull, so that I don't have to worry about that. I could introduce like a new light, and I may do that later, but for the most part, I'm happy with this. So let's get some nostrils in here. And I think that's the cutoff point. I think everything over here is going to be bone. The tough part is the transition. I think I want it to look kind of like the face disintegrating. I don't know. This is too much fun. I kind of feel like the Joker here. Like, I don't do a good Joker impression. Hey, Batsy. No, wait, that would be more like Harley Quinn. I got to get my characters right. But yeah, so then I think we're gonna have it kind of come up here, and then the forehead. I think it's going to be kind of split. But I do like this. I mean, talk about an under drawing, right? Where you do like an entire drawing and then come back and, you know, paint over it. I think it's great. As you can see, I'm using kind of cool colors here, so like kind of like a bluish gray. And the reason for that is because I kind of think I want this to be a vampire of some sort. They're like dead, so they got no skin tone, which is great for me because I'm not 100% sure on my skin tone mixing paints and stuff. So kill two birds with one stone. Anyway, we'll worry about details later. I'm just kind of like blocking in some areas that I think should be painted in. So I want a cheek. This should be a little bit darker through here, but so is everybody having a good Halloween? You know, there's not a lot for adults to do for Halloween, but if you can, you go out, have parties, things like that. It's still a fun holiday, even if you're not a kid, I think. Others might differ. I know that some people don't even celebrate Halloween, which I think is sad. I think above, like right below the nose should be painted in. And then I think I'll have like some lips that come over to anchor in the teeth, but then it's got to cut off somewhere. So I'm just gonna kind of like figure that out later, I think. So that's kind of cool. Right now it looks kind of like, I don't know, Phantom of the Mask or something like that. So I think I'm gonna have some hair mopped in here, so I don't feel like I need to follow the contour of the skull too closely, but I'm going to at least dabble it in anyway. Maybe that's probably a good cutoff. And then the bit above the eyebrow, which I do think this creature will have eyebrows. All right, so that's a good start. And then through here, kind of want that to have some flesh too. This is going to be a little bit darker, so mix some black into that. There you go. That's a little bit better. And kind of smooth this out. And then I kind of want this to come down. And I can kind of like redirect it a little bit if I want. Like if like this bone actually comes out a little bit further, but because I'm painting anyway, you're not really going to see that or note that it's different. So I think I will kind of trim up a little bit of that jaw. This is already starting to look a little freaky. I love it. I don't do a lot of horror pictures. Like honestly, this is the first year I even tried. Um, I like to I like to draw pretty pictures. I don't want to be scared. But then I think like it's just gonna kind of like attach a little bit there. You know how zombies are and stuff. It's a spooky night, guys. Anything can happen. So I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not, but I enjoy thinking about ghosts at Halloween. Like basically everything on TV is like ghost hunting or some haunted place or something like that. I would love to go on like a ghost walk. You always hear about those things. Particularly like at Gettysburg. I hear that Gettysburg is like one of the most haunted cities or whatever. Um, I think that would be pretty cool. These are the type of things that people do on Halloween. And like you forget about this stuff like 90% of the year or whatever, but at Halloween you think about these things. Or at least I do. I don't know. So I think I think I'm happy with, all right, that's where the flesh is going to be. So now I can kind of like work a little bit on it, kind of maybe work in some shadows and stuff. I kind of want it to have like a mean expression. So I'm going to definitely bring down the shadows underneath like the eyebrows. Kind of, like I said, I did kind of mock up what I wanted to do here. It's not perfect, but I have a reference picture, kind of like a study. Unfortunately, you can't just like find a picture to work off of when you're doing something completely from scratch, which makes me a little bit nervous, but I think I'll be okay. My other concern is I don't have a ton of experience painting in general, much less painting something from scratch. So I think I will have some dark pink, like red lips in here and stuff, maybe some blood or whatever, like just blood hanging off. Which side did I put it on? I put it on this side. There we go. I think that'll be cool. Yeah, I think this will turn out just nice. Um, kind of figure out where some shadows might be in here on the nose. Where's that going? My dogs are being awfully quiet tonight. That's good. They usually like are annoying. This is starting to look scary already. I ain't gonna lie. I love it. Kind of get like a little bit of a scowl going. Do you guys watch many horror movies? I love horror movies. I think they're all kind of like, especially like campy horror movies, like ones that aren't, you know, like too scary, just more dumb. Like Scary Movie, literally Scary Movie. They came out in the 90s. I love that kind of stuff. Just campy, funny. Oh yeah, yeah. So I think I'm gonna do a seance with somebody in the next couple of days. I think that's kind of cool. We did one last year, and it was fun. I it'd be best to do it on Halloween, but I think like within the Halloween thing. So like the idea is that the connection between the living and the dead is the thinnest, or like the veil. Like I don't know, like they always say like the great beyond. Man, I look freaky saying that. The great beyond. Um, anyway, the connection between the two is the thinnest, or like the veil or the barrier. The barrier is the thinnest. There you go. That's the right way to say it. On Halloween, but I think that kind of applies around Halloween as well. So yeah, we're gonna do a seance, try to contact the dead, see how that goes. I think it'll be awesome. Because why not, right? I have a pretty open mind. I like to try anything at least once or twice or 10 times. You never know. Especially at Halloween. I really enjoy like, scary movies, just scary stories in general. This is a little bit embarrassing because I'm a guy of a certain age and stuff, but I've been watching Nancy Drew just because I like mystery stories. And the TV series is really good. I've been watching that, and it's got this supernatural aspect to it. Um, I'm trying to make my way through like kind of binging all of those, and it's pretty good. And then of course, like back in the day, I used to watch X Files all the time, and they'd have some pretty scary storylines. Kind of pinch this a little bit with some of these lines here. Kind of darken that out. I do think I'm gonna have like some kind of demon hair or something coming down over there on the side. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mix some like pretty dark gray, but a little bit lighter than what I've got in there now. Kind of get a little bit of an eye going. Just like the corners of the eyes. The problem is the paint I've got isn't really all that great for painting over dark. Like it dries very light. It's very transparent. So I don't know how this is going to look in the end, but I'll give it a shot. And kind of darken in kind of an eyeball. Maybe a little bit darker. Yeah, Nancy Drew. Yeah. Um, yeah, I am so sorry that you're not feeling well, but maybe you can curl up with a nice scary movie and just like not sleep. Yeah, I thought that show might be dumb, but I like a good mystery story and stuff, so I give it a shot. And I don't know, I was pretty surprised with it. It's basically for young adults, but I don't care. Guilty pleasures and all that. Okay, kind of an eyebrow going. These things look a little bit cartoony right now, but I think I'll continue developing it and refine it as we go along. And maybe I'll start looking a little more realistic. But it's a start. I mean, it looks pretty scary already. We get some white in here and try to introduce some highlighted areas. Maybe that'll help. It's still pretty. The problem is this white really sucks. So like I can put, so that seems still pretty dark. I can put a lot of white in it, but it takes like a lot of white. So like I burn through white, but this is really cheap paint. It doesn't cost me much. The color makes it. What are you barking about? Oh, guys, what are you barking at? There is nothing there. Go back to sleep. There's literally nothing there. What are you guys barking about? Silly dog. Anyway, Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my painting. Sorry about the dogs. They're crazy. I don't know what their problem is. Those. So anyway, yeah, I like a good scary movie. Um, just that, you know, it's a season for it. Guys, why are you barking? There is literally nobody here. Weirdos. I don't get it. If you guys have dogs, you know how it is. They bark at nothing sometimes. It's weird. Freaking dogs. Anyway, so I like good scary movies. I like, especially this time of season, I like a good mystery movie. And I think Nancy Drew fits that. Supernatural stuff. You know, you guys should just go sleep. Maybe they had a nightmare or something. I don't know. Weird. Weird dogs. Anyway, sorry for the dogs barking. They get crazy sometimes. But anyway, it's been kind of uneventful though. Like I would love for this house to be haunted, to be honest with you. Nothing ever happens interesting around here. I would love for, you know, to do like that seance or something like that. Like we did like a seance a couple of years back, and we had this like little ghost detector, and I kept wanting it to go off, but nothing happens. Nothing ever happens interesting around here. I don't get it. But you watch those like ghost hunter shows, and like, I mean, those ghost detectors go off like crazy all the time, and I can't ever like. I would love to see a ghost, to be honest. It would be so cool. But I guess those things just happen to other people, not me. And apparently, my dog's going ape shit over nothing. Weirdos. Has anybody in the chat ever seen a ghost? Like, tell me a ghost story. That'd be cool. I mean, why not? It's Halloween, right? Tell a ghost story. Dog's gonna have nightmares. Yeah, yeah, these dogs are weird. Like, they just bark at nothing. It's so weird. Like, when I was a kid, we used to do something, I don't know if they still call it this, but like legend tripping. It has nothing to do with like tripping on drugs or anything like that. But legend tripping is where you hear about like an urban legend or something like that, and you try to test it. And I was living in Ohio, and there was this cool urban legend. Maybe I did see a ghost actually, because like, all right, so let me tell the story. So there was this urban legend at Miami University in Athens, no, Oxford, Ohio, and Ohio University is in Athens. Oh shit, I don't remember anymore. But anyway, Oxford, Ohio, at Miami University, there's a there's a urban legend of a dude who supposedly died on a motorcycle. And as the story goes, I don't know, I think he was going to go see like his girlfriend or something like that, some loved one or whatever. And he had an accident on his motorcycle and he didn't make it. And supposedly he haunted this one particular road. And I still remember the name of the road. I think it was Oxford Milford Road. But anyway, so as the urban legend goes, you're supposed to go to this road. Guys, stop barking at nothing. Okay, there's nothing there. So anyway, as the urban legend goes, you are supposed to you're supposed to drive to this road after midnight. You park your car and there's like this ritual or whatever. You flash your lights 3 times, and then you flash your brights 3 times, and this is all after midnight, like every urban legend. And supposedly the ghost rider or something, whatever the motorcycle dude's name is, would appear, right? So of course, me being a teenager, oh, this sucks. I gotta blow my or like wipe my nose because it's like running, and I got all this makeup on. So of course, being a teenager, I had to try this. So like me and my friends wanted to do it, but I didn't have a car, so I ended up stealing my parents' car to do it, but we went up there in the middle of the night and we did the thing. Um, we flashed our lights 3 times. We flashed our brights 3 times. We basically had to steal my folks' car. I had to like roll it out of the driveway so that they wouldn't know and wake up. But we did all of that. We went up there. I had a video camera, by the way. Now that I recall, like I wasn't planning on telling the story. I'm just kind of remembering it in real time. Um, but we had a video camera because we wanted to document it if the dude showed up, and did all that. I got the video camera rolling, and just as soon as we finish doing our little light ritual where you flash your lights 3 times, flash your brights 3 times, the camera died. And I had charged the battery on that camera. I'm 100% sure that I had charged it before I left. But sure enough, the camera died. And we're sitting there waiting and nothing happens, right? There's no guy on a motorcycle, no ghost or anything like that. So we're like, well, this is bunk. But just as we were deciding to leave, so I should probably explain how this road is. So like this road that you go to, Oxford Milford Road, if you go to Miami University in Ohio, I think it's Miami University. If you go there, you probably know this road. It's just all farm fields and stuff. So it's like basically this road that goes on forever, and then there's like these little hills and stuff. And that's what you're looking out over as you're like doing this like little urban legend thing. And just as we were about to leave, sure enough, out on the horizon, we see this solitary light just way off in the distance. And it starts coming towards us, and then it disappears, presumably it's dipping down beneath one of these hills, and then it pops back up, and then it dips back down, and then within like, I don't know, like 500 feet of us, I want to say, it just vanished. And there are no roads. There are no roads for it to turn off on or anything like that. I don't know if that was a ghost, but that is probably the closest thing I've got to like an encounter with the ghost. I still can't explain that to this day. Like I was a teenager, we were just having fun and stuff like that. But it's spooky. And the thing is, my friends, like I thought, like as you get older and stuff, you start thinking if like, I don't know, did I remember this the right way? Like is this am I misremembering it or something? No, I can talk to my friends as an adult and they remember it exactly like I do. It's so weird. But yeah, so that would be like an example of like legend tripping. And you're just basically going out and following up on like urban legends and stuff. I love that kind of stuff. That stuff is so much fun. I would love to do that more. The older you get though, like, I don't know, cops would probably arrest you for being out there that late or something like that. But you can get away with that kind of stuff as a teenager. Anyway, so that's my ghost story. Do you guys have any good ones? That one's kind of lame because, like, honestly, I still can't. I still have no idea what I saw there. But it was its light, and it was like acting just like a motorcycle would. The great thing about those type of things is like you can tell your folks about it years later and stuff, and they're like, "You stole my car. What was I doing?" I was like, "You were sleeping." But yeah, that one's pretty fun. There's another one kind of in the same vein where I think I might have saw like a UFO, but I don't know. Me and a buddy of mine were hanging out on the rooftop of another buddy's like grandfather's. So all right, I'm not telling the story right. So a friend of ours had his grandfather owned like a furniture store, and he had this warehouse down in one of the towns in I think it was Covington, Kentucky, and we would go up on the rooftop sometimes and just hang out, drink, things like that. And I was up there with my friend in the middle of the night, and it's kind of like an urban environment, so like you see like a lot of street lights and other buildings and things like that. So it's not dark by any means. Oops, that's a bit white. Let me kind of tone that down a bit. Highlights are nice, but that's a bit much. Um, so anyway, we're up on this rooftop and we're looking out, and like off in the distance, I see what looks like the moon. I think I've told this story to some of you guys before, but anyway, I'll tell it again. I don't care. It's Halloween. These are the spooky stories I've got. Um, So we see this thing. It looks like the moon. I mean, it's as round as the moon. It's the size of the moon. It's in the exact place you would expect to see it in the sky. Um, a Sasquatch sighting. I would love to see Sasquatch for real. Um, but yeah, so like I see this thing. It looks like the moon. Um, like if it didn't move, I would say it's the moon. But that's the problem. It started moving. And the moon started moving across the sky, I want to say about yay fast. Now, obviously the moon doesn't move that fast. The moon moves across the sky throughout the night. Um, that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't move as fast as like a slow airplane. That is unusual. And to this day, I have no idea what that is. And once again, I contacted my buddy. Like we don't hang out that much and stuff, but I keep in contact with some of these guys through like Facebook and stuff. And I reached out to him many years later, and the thing is, the first thing he says is like, "Hey man, you remember that UFO we saw?" And his account of the story is exactly the same as mine all these years later. It's so weird. I wish I had better stories than that, but those are my two. Oh, in that same warehouse, there was this like creepy old rocking chair that was up there for no reason, and it just started moving on its own one day. There was like no wind or anything like that, so that's pretty creepy too. I don't know. I wish I had better ghost stories, but yeah, I think it would be awesome to see a Sasquatch for real. Like I would love to be out in the woods and just run into Sasquatch. I think Sasquatch is probably like, I don't know, like a cool dude that you would want to hang out with. Like I don't I don't picture Sasquatch as being like, I don't keep up with the lore. Like there are some people who literally believe in Sasquatch and they have like all these stories and stuff like that. So like they're gonna come in to the chats and stuff and like correct me, tell me I'm wrong and everything. But I like to think that Sasquatch is probably like this friendly plant eater, and that he's not going to tear you up. That said, he's the size of a dude. Like, well, he actually is bigger than dude, like a dude. Like, if you encountered a gorilla out in the wild, you don't want to mess with the gorilla. That thing will tear you up. I feel like that's the same with like Sasquatch, but I don't think it's like, I don't think he's going to like be mean about it. I don't I don't think he's just going to like rip you up because like he's hungry or something like that. He's not like a mountain lion or whatever. I think that's my point. I don't know what my point is. I'm literally thinking about Sasquatch for the first time here. I never thought that I would ever meet Sasquatch. So like I have no preconceived ideas of what meeting Sasquatch would be like. Anyway, this is kind of like a freaky color here. I kind of like it. This might be too much of a paintbrush to kind of like get these redder colors in here. No, that's way too light. Let me darken that up. Again, I'm still practicing painting. You guys know that. So like I don't know how to mix these things properly, but I think getting a nice eyeshadow in here just to kind of get some freaky colors going. And then I think I'm going to have to switch to a smaller paintbrush just so that I can start working on some details around the eyes and stuff. But I kind of like this. I kind of like the skull on one side. And oh, you've seen UFOs and spirits. Oh, yeah, yeah, sorry. I just saw the Sasquatch thing, and I totally missed that you saw the. I'm not very good at following the chat. I want to hear your ghost stories, Mama Q. Sounds like you probably have some good ones. All right, I'm gonna put this brush to the side. Maybe I might come back to it, but I'm going to switch to a smaller brush, I think. Anyway, I want to hear your ghost stories. I wish this was like I wish we were in the same room so that you guys can chat with me. All I've got is barking dogs. I wish you guys were actually in here and we could do like voice chats at the same time as I'm painting. That would be awesome. Yeah, exactly. My Sasquatch is Harry from the Harry and the Hendersons. I love that movie. That's like John Lithgow, I think, and I grew up with that movie. I love Harry. Yeah, where he like smile. Ben is still in here, where he's like, That's Sasquatch to me. That's probably the so I would probably meet Sasquatch in the wild. I'd be like, let's be friends, and then it like tears me limb from limb. That's how that story goes. I can see it already. But at least I tried to make friends with Sasquatch. That's what matters. I kind of want like it a lot darker up here. The problem with these paints is again they're so transparent, and I don't really know how they're going to dry. If they're going to dry the way I want them to, or if they're going to be like super light. It's hard to say. Get some shadows going over here. Yeah. All right. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're only like 39 minutes into this. That's cool. Well, it seems like my dogs have fallen asleep, so hopefully they're over their nightmare crap. I don't know why they just go nuts sometimes. Animals are like that. They just start freaking out for no reason whatsoever. But what can you do? You love them. Mothman. Thank you. Mothman is. I have been to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, Virginia, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, to the Mothman. Man, my nose itches. I have been to the Mothman Museum. Um, they have a festival every year, sort of around this time. I think it's in September, and that's pretty awesome. Like literally, that's the only thing going on in that town. It's such a small town, and there's not like really a lot to it. It used to be. I want to say it was a like a coal transportation center or something back in the day. But there's not a lot going on there now. Basically, their only claim to fame is Mothman, and that's okay. Mothman is awesome. Like, have you seen the Mothman prophecies? Like, that's loosely based on the original story, and I love it. Yeah, Mothman's cool. Hey, Tyler, how's it going, man? How's your Halloween going? Did you dress up, go anywhere, do anything? I'm living vicariously through you guys. I need to hear all your awesome hot Halloween stories. I'm just I'm just a dude that's been turned into a zombie. I can't get out and experience the world myself. I have to live through you guys. You guys have to tell me how awesome your days are because they won't let me know. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but the hat says Area 51. Technically, I'm a tourist who tried to sneak into Area 51. They caught me. They put me in a cage with some creature I don't remember, and it had its way with me, and now I'm a zombie. That's the full story behind my costume. Trust those doggos. I don't trust those doggos. Those doggos are probably plotting my demise along with the cat. I do trust the dogs more than I trust the cat, though. The cat, I don't think the cat's up to any good. I think the cat's really trying to take me out. All right, so I'm going to grab, yeah, smaller brush, I think. I'm going to work on the eye a little bit just because it kind of looks a little boring right now. Let's see. Let me get that black really black, and then I'll come back over it with some more colors. And then I think around that I can start putting in some whites, which will probably dry pretty light, but I want to get them in there anyway, just so it's not all like kind of gray. We kind of get some highlights going. Smooth that out a little bit. Hey, happy Halloween, Lorraine. I remember as a kid, some of you guys might be older and you guys might remember some of this. They really took Halloween seriously. I remember as a kid, and maybe it's just like down south where I lived in South Carolina growing up, and I had an aunt that we would go over to her house every Halloween, and she wasn't just giving out candy. I mean, she baked for this stuff. Like she would bake cookies and like all kinds of goodies and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird because like she didn't really have um she was out in the boonies and stuff, so it's not like she was doing this for trick-or-treaters. I don't know what she did all that baking for. I'm gonna have to ask my mom about that. And yeah, like I remember like she just like was really into it. She would like bake all this stuff, and I feel like people kind of phone it in nowadays. Hey, Husker Du, happy Halloween. We're just creating like a kind of a scary demon off of our skull picture from the other day. I think this is going all right. Probably ways to go, but it's a good start. Get some highlights in here. And I know all of this is going to dry pretty light, but I want to get it started anyway. Yeah, that's probably a bit much, but we're gonna dab it out. Howard Stern zombie. I do kind of look like Howard Stern, don't I? I like it. I'll take it. I'll go with that. The weird thing is, I was looking. Let me go back to the bigger view. So I was looking at this and like I can't even see my eyes. I have to go. "Mm." That's weird. All right, I'm gonna do it again. "Mm." One more time so you can get a screenshot. "Mm." All right, back to my picture. Sorry. Oh, so weird. I'm in that kind of mood tonight, though. I love Halloween. I really do. It's so much fun. If Halloween didn't fall on like one of my normal streaming nights, I'd probably be out with some friends that'd like to party. But like I said, around here it's gotten kind of cold, and the weather hasn't been cooperating. It's been raining, so there is not a lot going on around here, and it kind of sucks because like I don't know, I kind of look forward to it every year. Just adding some highlights and stuff. But any of you guys wear any costumes tonight? I guess you only wear costumes if you go somewhere. Like it'd be weird to be sitting around the house just wearing a costume for no reason. But different people do different things. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Lorraine. So I've painted two pictures tonight. I painted my face too. Cool. Yeah, at least like all the trick-or-treating was done before I went live. Like I was a little bit concerned about that. I was wondering if I should, kind of delay the stream, but they it's 8:44 here on the in the Eastern time zone, and they all wrap up around 8. That's another thing. I don't know, maybe it's just my bad memory, but I remember as a kid like we would trick or treat pretty late. And I don't know if that's just us, like we were trying to. So I have two brothers, and I don't know what it is like. I don't have any sisters. I don't know what it's like for girls, but I know that we were all about that candy. Like we would try to maximize the the effectiveness of how many houses we can knock off in one night. Like we would plan out routes, all of that jazz. And I don't know if people do that anymore, but that's certainly something we did. We were all about maximizing the amount of candy we would get. And we would get like pretty big hauls too. Like again, it was the three of us, me and my two brothers, and you know, when you have people who are like that into getting the candy, you end up with a pretty big haul. But then my dad, he's just a big kid too, so he would steal all of our candy most of the time. He would he would he would always say that we couldn't eat our candy until after he had inspected it, right? Which, like he wanted to make sure there's no poison in it or razor blades or any of that stuff that you hear about like in the news or whatever. So for some reason, there was a lot of candy that supposedly had that stuff in it, and he'd just end up. As an adult, I realized he was just stealing our candy. That's what he was doing. That's the story. That's what that was about. But I didn't realize that as a kid. Get some kind of dark red in here for the irises. I don't know how that's. Yeah, maybe that'll dry nice. Again, these paints aren't that opaque, so like when I end up using it over black, I don't know how it's going to dry. And that looks kind of gray on camera, but it's got this reddish tinge to it, and like she looks like some character in a movie, but I couldn't place it. Like this is entirely just kind of like created from imagination, just something I wanted to do over the skull. I'm barely even looking at the mock-up that I created, but this does look like somebody who's in a movie. Oh, you know who it you guys aren't going to know this because you guys don't watch Marvel movies, but and also nobody watched this movie. The Morbius movie that didn't do very well. This looks like one of those type of vampires. The bluish skin, really dark tones, and so I don't think anybody saw that movie. Yeah, pillowcase for trick or treat. Yeah, yep. Sounds like you were trying to maximize the amount of candy you got as well. Of course, I don't know how good we were at it. Like, apparently kids go to like malls and they go to like apartment complexes. We didn't have any of that around us as a kid, and I feel like that would be a pretty good haul. Like that's a one-stop shopping place, I think. Oh, you watched it because I can? It's on my list. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I liked Venom, and it's kind of like in the same basic universe as Venom. So it's on my list to watch, but I haven't seen it yet. And of the people I talked to that saw it, they weren't that impressed with it. If you liked it, I don't want to like you know crap all over it or anything like that. But the people I had talked to, they said they just weren't into it. But I don't know. Opinions vary. Oh, speaking of that basic, Spider-Man universe, if you guys are into animation, that Spider-Man animated movie, Across the Spider-Verse, is out on Netflix, which is awesome because that is such a great movie. It's such a beautiful movie. They did such a good job on it. It's a sequel to Across the Spider-Verse, which hopefully you guys have seen because it's one of my favorite movies. I just think they did such a good job on animating those. I didn't know if I was going to like it because it was animated and all that when the first movie came out, But man, that was such a good movie, and the sequel is just as good, in my opinion. And that's out on Netflix as of today, I think. I haven't checked, but that's when they said it was coming out. So if you guys are into that sort of thing, it might be something that you guys might want to watch. I don't know. Half my friends are like into comics and comic related stuff, and half of them aren't. So I don't really know. A lot of people have superhero fatigue. But if you're gonna watch one superhero type movie, I recommend that one just because it's so beautiful. Like you can take a screenshot of any frame and put it up on the wall, and it's beautiful art. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't spoil it for me because I'll get around to watching it eventually. All right. So I think this is a pretty good start. There's some more details I want to put in here, but I want to put in some hair just because, like, I don't know, I feel like I should. I like this because I still feel like we're still got a lot of the skull in there, which is important because, like, I want it to be kind of a hybrid. I want it to be half skull, half something else. So I'm just going to put in, because like the skull originally didn't have any hair, so I have to put in some darker areas to kind of work as the dark part of the hair. And then just going to kind of drape that over the skull. I kind of like this. I really do. I like the idea of starting a picture in charcoal. You know, you have to use that sealant. Like in this case, I used I don't have it out right now, but it's some sort of like sealant for acrylics that I picked up at Walmart. Like you don't even have to go to like a specialty store or anything like that. Hats off to Larry. Is there some big news, Larry, that I missed? Whatever it is, congratulations, man. Cool. I wanted to kind of be matted here, like, I don't know. One of the scariest movies, like this is kind of an older movie, but it's one of my favorite scary movies, is The Ring. Actually, all of those movies that are kind of based on like Japanese horror movies, like The Grudge is another good one, but The Ring especially, that freaked me out when I saw it. Because like, I don't know, I'm not obsessive, right? But like when somebody sits there and tells you that you watch a video and then 7 days later, some chick's gonna come and murder you. I know it's the movie, but it still crosses my mind that I just watched that same video and I'm marking the days like 7 days out just to see what happens, you know? It's like I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious, you know, to quote Michael Scott. But that was a good movie. I enjoyed that. That was again, it's a little old now. It's been out for a while, but I thought that was kind of like a pretty good scare fest there. But yeah, all right. So we got like kind of some hair coming down, which is cool. I'll come back and add some highlights to it. What do you call it? Skeleton that goes out in a snowstorm. I don't know, Mama Q. What do you call it? Skeleton that goes out in a snowstorm. I feel like there's a punchline coming. I hope there's a punchline coming. Oh, Salem's Lot. The Exorcist. That scared me as a kid. I know that's an old reference there. I don't know if any of the kiddos have seen The Exorcist, but that was pretty freaky back in the day. A numbskull. Ah, that's good. I like that. That's pretty good. Right, The Ring. When she yeah, so like that whole style of horror film, like where they have a ghost and it's kind of like, rickety and it moves in these like jerky motions and stuff. I think that was pretty new. I don't remember that being in horror stories before then. But anyway, it was freaky enough for me to take note, essentially. That and the whole waiting 7 days to die thing really made it stick out in my mind as a younger man watching it. So this part, I'm just kind of like going with a little bit lighter dark to kind of like form some of the, not highlights really, but kind of like, I guess like middle tones on her hair or its hair. I can't really say if this is a guy or a girl. It's just basically some monster. Just some creepy monster on a Halloween. I think after this, I'm gonna go watch a scary movie and then not go to sleep. Maybe watch some more of those Nancy Drews. The special, oh man, my nose always itching whenever I got something going on. The other thing about newer horror movies is they're so good on the special effects, and like it used to be that they kind of phone things in. Like for example, the Michael Myers from Halloween, he's basically wearing a William Shatner mask apparently. Like I only learned that in recent years. And it's scary, but it's not that scary. It's basically like a creepy William Shatner's face. But nowadays, the CGI and the special effects, I mean, they make some stuff that's believable. Here's one for Jack. Why did the skeleton drop out of medical school? Ooh, this is gonna be good. Let me try to think of this one. Why did the skeleton drop out of medical school? This is gonna have something to do with bones. I know it is. All right, why did the skeleton drop out of medical school? This is gonna be good. I love puns. Please let it be a pun. Problem is I can't tell it like how light this is actually going to dry. Like you can see some of these white areas and stuff. They kind of darken up a little bit. He didn't have the stomach for it. Ah, that's great. I love that. Man, these are good. What else you got for us, Mama Q? Mama Q's got the best jokes. So I do still kind of want to like refine some of the face and stuff like that. I'm just working on this hair stuff just to make sure it gets in there in case we run out of time, which sometimes happens. And it being Halloween, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like go back to like any kind of scary paintings in the future. Maybe I will. These are actually a lot of fun. You didn't have the stomach for it. That's so good. The original Halloween scared you as a kid? Yeah. My parents didn't let me watch a lot of scary movies as a kid. We'd have to like basically get all our scary movies from the babysitters and stuff. Some of the things that scared me as a kid were like not scary movies. Like I remember, I don't know, this one's an old one too, but it was out when I was a kid. Um, the James Bond movie, um, for your eyes only. I think that's what it was called. And there was an early scene in that where these people drowned in like a ship, and it was just all these bodies floating in the water because like the boat sunk or whatever like that, and that freaked me out as a kid. But, like that was a little too realistic for me just to see a bunch of bodies floating in the water. What if skeletons invest in crypto? Ah, I love it. Because they're like in crypts. These are so good. We should have a pun section each time. Halloween's so much fun. I enjoy it. All right. I think this is pretty good for like all the basics and stuff like that. Let me see if I can get any sort of like details or whatever in here. Might, because I have it, I might rely on the gel pen for some of these really white highlights and stuff. But I'm gonna try to get a few in. So like I still think there's like multiple light sources. There's like one on basically each side. I don't know. Like this is just a fun picture. I'm not too worried about realism on a monster picture. Didn't want the hair coming down through there. I need like a micro brush. How do skeletons fix their drinks? Oh, let me guess about that one. Dry, like dry martinis. I can't figure that one out, Mommy Q. How do skeletons fix their drinks? Doesn't have anything with like on the rocks. By sternum. I get it. Stirring. Sternum. That one took me a minute. That's good. I like that. I had to think about that one. These are good. These are pun. Get it? Pun, fun. Anyway, I think all this is going to dry much lighter, so I'm not trying to be perfect there. All right. Let me go back to the face a little bit because I can always worry about the hair later. I really wanted this stuff to be much lighter because it's a vampire. And vampires are I don't know if I should call this a vampire or not. It's basically a skeleton or like a demon or something like that. Some sort of like evil spirit, evil vengeful spirit. Like somebody pissed this spirit off. And they've come to exact their revenge. Find out somebody there. A real dry brush through there. It kind of sucks that Halloween's only like one night. It should be one of those holidays. So like even Thanksgiving, that's not very nice, Bill. That's mean. Um, Halloween should be one of those holidays that actually, um, you get a couple of days and stuff. Like even Thanksgiving, you get several days of uh, of Thanksgiving. Like you get time off at work and stuff like. It's not all about the meal, It's about taking a few days off and stuff like that. I think Halloween is a big enough holiday that should you get time off, people could really enjoy it. Like at its basics, Halloween is like a celebration of, people have passed and creatures like this. But in some parts of the world and stuff, it's really like a celebration of deceased family members and loved ones and things like that. I feel like we should take back Halloween and make it more about some of that kind of stuff, and then actually treat it like a real holiday. That's my view. Just because I enjoy the idea of Halloween so much. And like you shouldn't really be afraid of things that go bump in the night either and stuff like that. Like a lot of cultures have, you know, well-developed concepts of like spirits and demons and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there should be like celebration or acknowledgement or whatever it is, like a holiday that deals with that sort of stuff. Yeah, Halloween. There you go. I think I like this cheek better before I start tinkering with it, but that's okay. It's paint. We can fix it up. All right. Um, can you see? I really wanted this to be kind of like more opaque through here so that you can really see the red. I think that looks better. Clean my brush. After watching Halloween, the kid comes into the ER with the razor blade apple thing. Um, is that like a myth? Like I know that people talk about the whole razor blade thing, but like is that a true story or is that just like an urban legend? Like are there actual cases where somebody bit into candy or an apple or something like that and there was a razor blade in it? I want to know. All right, I think this looks cool enough to where I feel comfortable switching to. I brought some pins in here because I think that since this is just a fun Halloween illustration anyway, I don't mind mixing mediums here to where I've got a little bit of charcoal, a little bit of paint. I might come back to the paint, um, but I think it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of inking as well to kind of just clean up some of these areas and get some really bright. And like I said, these paints that I've got, I could have done wash tonight, but I was using these acrylics and they're not very good. They're not very opaque. They're very transparent. So I wanted to reserve this white for some of the highlighted areas and to kind of clean up some areas as well. So that's what I'm doing. Don't mind me. Smooth out some of the areas of the sun. And then I've got some black pens as well. I think I'm going to do some of the darker areas with that. cool. I like going there, the eyes. And then what if he bites you? I hope this creature doesn't bite me. I don't even know if this is a he or a she. I think it's kind of like just a little ambiguous. But see, like switching to this ink, I can, uh, man, every time I have like freaking makeup on my face, never mind. I don't have makeup on my face all that often. I don't want to spread any rumors about myself, but every time I shouldn't be scratching my nose. I feel like I have to. Like I've got crap on my hands and stuff just from scratching my nose all evening. What if this thing bites me while I'm drawing it? That's cool. There's a lot of horror movies, or a lot of horror stories, based on the idea of a drawing coming to life. I think I might tuck this one away when I'm done with it. It looks a little kind of scary to be just like leaving around. I'm certainly not going to hang it up on my wall to give me nightmares. Which famous person died on Halloween? That would be Harry Houdini. I know that one because they have seances for Harry Houdini every Halloween. I don't know who does it, but they had a televised one at one point many, many years ago. They actually had William Shatner on it, and that was pretty cool. Like he was a host or something like that. I mean, I don't think they contacted him, but it's still kind of cool. I love the idea of like seances. I don't know how they work or if they work at all and stuff. I just love the idea, especially on Halloween. Like you got to get into the spirit. On Halloween, I'm a believer. I'm a believer in ghosts. I'm a believer in Sasquatch. I'm a believer in everything on Halloween. Get in the spirit. Every other day, I might have second thoughts about it. Let's see. Get some eyelashes coming out of the bottom. You know, this is supposed to be like a scary demonic vampire thing, but it kind of looks like just some dude in a rock band. Like I'm pretty sure this guy could just look cool at a concert. Yeah, these pins are adding a little bit of definition to these marks that are like these like little messed up areas that I made in paint. So I think that's kind of cool, especially around the eyes and stuff to give them that mean expression. Friday the 13th part 3 in 3D on LSD. That's a lot of threes there. I'm trying to remember all the scary movies I've seen. They have some. I think I mentioned this a couple of streams back, but they have something in my town called a Scare Fest, which is kind of like a Halloween, not a Halloween, a Comic Con for Halloweens. There you go. Where instead of like a Comic Con where you have all the comic book makers come out, they have um, like film and television people who kind of focused on like scary movies, right? So like they'll have the guy who played Jason in the Friday the 13th movies. He might be there instead of like famous actors from like comic book movies or something like that. Anyway, they have that here every year, but I haven't been to one recently. I kind of feel like I need to do that next year. Just because it is so fun, scary movies. Some of them are kind of stupid and corny, but the idea is there. The idea that you can be entertained, right? Kind of switching off your brain for a bit, which I think we should all do sometimes. I don't know if you guys are noticing or not, but like I'll make a mark and then I'll kind of like brush over it. You end up with a bunch of gunk on your fingers and stuff, but it kind of helps blend it in. So there's a little tip for you guys. I'm going to highlight this line here, kind of like as a hard edge of where this creature's kind of skin is just hanging over, almost like a oh, there's another one, Chainsaw. That was a great horror movie I enjoyed growing up. I was really partial to the Friday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, Freddy movies. I like the whole idea of like a creature coming into your dreams and stuff like that. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, guy kind of wore like a leather face. It's kind of like that. Vampire Lestat. I'm a huge fan of Anne Rice. These books over here on the shelf, a lot of the ones on the second shelf from the bottom, they're all Anne Rice. I love Anne Rice. There's supposed to be a second season of the AMC adaptation of Interview with the Vampire. That's going to be awesome. I don't know if that's out yet because I don't have AMC. I had to kind of get the first season by other means. But you see how like I make a mark and I just kind of go over it with my fingers? It's a great way to kind of like for those of you guys who like to paint and draw. I realize not all of you guys do. You just tune in because it's fun. See if I can kind of get some highlights going on these lips here. I do like switching between paint and then ink and stuff like that. It's just a matter of convenience. Like I can get, ah, man, my nose is so itchy. I can get some paints and like really spend some time with this and stuff like that. But this works too. I think it works really well, especially if you're just doing like an illustration and stuff, which this kind of is. Anyway, yeah, and rice books, those are great. You draw it knowing you have to run away from home. That's what we call love to call it. Yeah, I love that you guys are into the Halloween spirit. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me on your Halloween. That's looking so awesome. That's cool. All right, I want to get some highlights on the top of this mouth here. And then I think I need to come back with like a darker pen and it almost looks, I don't know. To me, this side kind of looks like the ghost or like the zombie of Mick Jagger. Like he's got, because Mick Jagger's got that kind of skeletal face anyway. And for some reason, this looks a lot like Mick Jagger to me. But maybe that's just me. It probably looks like a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Wish I had a wish I had a red marker that would like a red gel marker. I don't even know if such a thing exists. Oops. Well, there goes my computer again. Give me 1 second to reset this. There you go. It's been doing that a lot lately. I think I need to switch computers. Oh, maybe my computer's haunted. That would be awesome. I hope my computer's haunted. Like if it just started talking to me one day, that would be so cool. Please let my computer be haunted. That would be great. Gallon bucket full of candy. Oh, that's the great thing about tonight. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of trick-or-treaters this year, because where I'm at, the weather kind of sucked. I have a lot of candy to eat, which is awesome. I always try to buy extra candy anyway, just so that there's some left over for me because I'm a big kid. Um, but yeah, this year I've got a good deal of candy left over, which is awesome. Get some highlights in. That looks cool. All right, so I only did that so that I can add some blood because I want some blood dripping off. Let me go ahead and bring this back down instead of reaching across the picture like I am. I'll come back to these inks a little bit later. But I want some blood dripping. This would make a cool album cover. Like if you're into like those kind of bands. I still think it's kind of neat that we started with the charcoal picture. That's what's really exciting here. Like a little blood dripping off of here. Now this is a little bit light, but I think it'll dry darker. What about pranks? Do you guys do any Halloween pranks, or what's the best Halloween prank that you guys have dealt with yourself, or something that you've heard, or something like that? I think Halloween is part trick, part treats. There's like all this supernatural horror fun and everything like that, but part of it is the whole prank stuff. I think that that's a big thing for Halloween. Creepy sound effects, nice. Let's see. Hopefully that'll fix up. I do think that my computer's haunted, so like if the stream kind of messes up or something like that, I do apologize. It is because it's Halloween. My internet connection seems to be unhappy at the moment. My computer glitched there. The camera stopped working. I think things are haunted. And I don't know what to do. I don't know if when your computer's haunted, do you call the Geek Squad? Do you call the Ghostbusters? Do you call a priest? What do you do when your computer is haunted? Do you just throw it out and buy a new computer? What if it's like one of those, so many horror stories are based on like, you try to get rid of something and it keeps coming back. If that's the case with your computer, what do? You can't just buy a new one. Working on a prank in our treasure community, huh? What sort of prank are you working on there, Mama Q? The person who was sent to retrieve those fishing flies? Is the prank involving those fishing flies at all? Honestly, I just like using this ink over the charcoal. This is kind of cool. once you fix that charcoal to the page, it's basically part of the page. Like it's not going to go anywhere. I think that's cool. Keeping the neighborhood. Oh, I used to do that all. Um, Man, you guys are bringing back memories. I used to do that a lot as a teenager, going TP, TPing. And the thing is, back then, so like, I don't know if you guys go to like, I don't know, public restrooms and stuff nowadays, and everything's locked down. Like, all the toilet paper is behind a lock, and you know, you can't even replace the toilet paper on your own or anything because like it's just all locked down. Like somebody's gonna steal it. Well, you probably have me and my friends to thank for that. We used to TP at TP houses a lot just for fun, and we never ever bought toilet paper for it. We would go to like restaurants or something like that and go in and get like a hamburger or something and walk out with all their toilet paper. I know that that's not right. I regret that as an adult, but that's what we used to do. But yeah, I don't know, we were kind of experts on toilet papering houses. Nowadays, like as an adult, I realize, man, that's kind of a crappy thing to do. Like if I had to clean toilet paper off of my house, I'd be a little upset. But we thought it was funny, the things you grow out of. The prank doesn't involve the fishing flies. I don't believe you. I think you're pranking us right now. It's funny because Ben was adamant, like, I'm gonna send a trusted member of our community, and then we find out you can't be trusted because you like to prank people. I'm just kidding, of course. Mama Q is good people. There's a few people in this thing that I would believe like without even having to like verify anything. Mama Q is one of them. Certainly, P Denver. There's a few people I just trust. Gallatin Ghost. These are all good people. Hooli, wherever she. No, Hooli's suspect. I don't know about that. It's looking kind of cool. Looks better than when I just simply painted it. Adding these details. A lot of this is from memory. I'm not even like, or imagination, I should say, not memory. I've never encountered a demon like this, but just working from imagination. The ghost of Forrest Finn took the flies. I believe that, Lorraine. I really do. That's the first question I'm going to ask during that seance that Ashley wants to do. Uh, we did one last year, and she wants to do another one this year. I think on Thursday. I don't know. It's kind of her schedule. But if we do one, that's the first question I'm going to ask is like, did he take the flies? I don't know if you guys were around for that one that we did last year, but probably look it up. It'd be on the Treasure Warriors channel, I think, unless they took it down or something like that. But it's probably still up there. Anyway, I don't I don't feel like I need to use this for the hair. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this starting? Is this looking scary, menacing, lame? All of the above. I don't know how I got red in there, but I'm just gonna go with it. I must have used this brush for like the lips somewhere. Yeah, I like the idea of just like spreading color throughout and stuff like that. Maybe using some red over there. Have I been pranked lately, Jeremy? I don't think so. Um, Nothing ever happens around here. Like I was, I wish something cool would happen. I don't mind being pranked. Good-natured pranked. But no, it's been pretty quiet. Except my dog's barking for no reason whatsoever earlier. Nothing ever happens. I don't know if they had a nightmare or what, but at least they're sleeping now. That's good. But no, I don't think I've been pranked lately. It takes a lot to get one over on me. I'm pretty observant. Like, if somebody wanted to sneak one on me, I would catch them so quickly. It's not even funny. Can't get one over on old Jeremy. I notice everything. I'm just joking. This looks pretty cool. It's like a little vampire. I like it. Takes a lot to get it where it's not just a big old mess, but I don't know. Some people spend like hours and hours and hours on their paintings and stuff like that. I think how long have we been doing this? An hour and a half. This looks pretty good for an hour and a half. I don't want to get too crazy with this stuff up here. I like this whole charcoal look that was here originally. So I'm just going to kind of blend that into the charcoal just to kind of get some hair going back there and stuff like that. All right, what's left to do? Oh, I used it for blood. Yeah, that's where the red came from. I had a paper towel somewhere. Where did I put the paper towel? There we go. All right. I'm gonna try to get one more pass of that white in here, just because this still looks like super gray. The Betty Madison account in Discord, the actual account or the voice. There was a guy who came into the speakeasy the other day, and that was the voice. I forget who that was, but that was pretty fun. As far as the account itself, hmm, who is that, Mama Q? I have no idea who that is. Are you fessing up to it? Nah, you can get one over on me. I'm not that observant. Especially these days, I don't really have the time to pay attention to things as much. Like, if you guys remember when that LLC thing came in, you know, I was only able to figure out who those guys were because they weren't they weren't really trying very hard to hide it. Like they made some sloppy mistakes and stuff, but it's all in good fun. Yeah, I like this whiter. Hopefully it dries whiter. It doesn't show as white on camera, which kind of sucks, but all of this being white is what I was going for. Kind of blend it into this eyeshadow bit. Could probably get away with that bigger brush here. Oh, that's you guys. Cool. Thanks. Actually, that's fun. I'm glad to see you guys. That was so fun on. I don't know if you guys remember the origins. I mean, obviously you do if you created that account. But that was so fun hanging out with Ben that one night. I think it was on his birthday, and that person came in. It was just hilarious. Like that person needs to get some sort of job in like voice acting or something like that as a comedian or something because that was hilarious. If you guys weren't there, you guys have no like. There's some people who come in here just to watch the art and stuff like that. They have no idea what we're talking about. But it was hilarious. That was a highlight. Like of he used to do a lot more streams. That was a highlight of being on his streams that one night. I don't blame him. Like YouTube kind of sucks for that community these days. A lot of haters out there, I guess. I think that's what they would be called. I don't know how that's going to dry, but I want to bring this out and around a little bit more. I think the nose was a little bit narrow before. I don't know if you guys can even hear me talking to myself, but I'm like basically just talking to myself here. I kind of want to lighten this up a little bit through here. Like this is all a little bit dark. Kind of using a dry brush without that much paint on it, just so I can kind of blend it out. So I can just talk to myself, guys. No, Mama Q, that's awesome, man. Like I said, I'm glad to see you guys. Well done. Kind of get a little bit different colors in here. I find that sometimes when I talk about this stuff, I do sound like Bob Ross. Like, just happy little colors. Right, I think that's cool. I think the more you just layer things up, the more interesting it gets. Like, it doesn't even have to be all that great. Just adding a bunch of layers of paint. Like, I could see, like, if you were just in here painting for, I don't know, like a week straight, just adding layer upon layer upon layer, you're going to get an interesting painting. And it's probably going to look pretty realistic. Like, there's not a lot of skill in what I'm doing here, but just adding more and more paint, you have to correct some errors that you make and stuff like that. Like, I just made one that's way too light there. Adjust this a bit. And it's probably still too light. Let me add a little bit of black. I'm not much on mixing paints and having them be consistent, but gets kind of crazy on Halloween there, Lorraine. You guys ever see that movie, The Crow? They had what they call it, Devil's Night on Halloween and stuff. It was like the night of fires and pranks and stuff like that. I feel like in some areas that's Halloween for people. And I think it should be. Like people should get like what's that movie, The Purge, where people just go nuts one night of the year. I feel like that should be on Halloween. Like Halloween is the night for doing crazy shit. It's kind of cool. Now that I put this kind of wisps and stuff here, I feel like the hair should come down a little bit more. Let me grab some black. See if I can do it with paint. It does feel like a bit androgynous. Like I can't tell if this is like a dude or a chick. That's why I think it feels like an album cover, like because like you have that whole androgyny thing going on in like rock music and stuff, especially like back in the '80s or whatever. Um, I felt like this could be, um, you know, art for like an '80s rock album or something like that. I think a lot of the people in my neighborhood actually went to other neighborhoods. Like I can hear outside the window people coming back from trick or treating. That kind of sucks because like did spend a lot of time and effort trying to do some trick or treat in my neighborhood, yo. Trick or treat, I'm the treat type. I wonder, like, I guess if you had to choose, you should probably be one or the other. I think I'm the trick type. I like pranks. Again, I used to toilet paper people's houses, and it was fun. I feel bad about it now as an adult, but back then, yeah, it was cool. So I kind of want like a glowing thing going on in this socket, but I do want this to remain the original art. I want that to peek through. So I don't want to mess with it too much, even though I feel like I want to. I don't want to. Like I want to leave this part unfinished and just kind of like the bare basics and stuff like that. I feel like this nose is a little bit crooked, so I'm going to try to adjust that a little bit. See if I can get that looking more like a nose. I don't know. I don't know if it looks any better, but look at my reference thing. Yeah, just kind of maybe bring the light down here. It's kind of neat when you blend things in like this. It just kind of becomes this shape. I don't know. Maybe add a little bit of highlight up in here. Blend that out so it's not so light. I don't know. I feel like I can tinker with that nose a lot, and it's not going to end up looking any better. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I am getting close to calling it done for the night. I think it does kind of look pretty cool. I don't know. Every now and then I see my picture. I see like this basically this window. I see myself in this window and I'm like, who the hell is that? That's fun. Halloween's so fun. I love Halloween. I'm happy you guys are spending Halloween with me. This is cool. I've only been doing this channel for like less than a year, so this is the first Halloween. I'd like this would be cool to like make an annual thing. Do a special Halloween live stream. We're painting pictures together, scary pictures. Let's see. I think I can fix this up a little bit because I kind of got a little messed up. Bring this line down a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm almost there on a nose that works, but it's amazing. So like I don't know if you guys ever watch any other art shows and stuff like that, but and Bob Ross notwithstanding, because Bob Ross was pretty quick at what he did, and he just like knocked these things out on camera for television, which is like basically the kind of art that I like to do. But some of the people who paint, they spend, you know, 40 hours or more on a painting and stuff like that. And it's just like little tiny revisions and stuff like that, little reworks and stuff. Um, that's kind of cool. I would love to have that kind of patience. I don't have that kind of patience. So I think I'm a 1-2 hour painting kind of person, but I admire the people who spend that much time on things. It's kind of funny. So like when I'm doing my pastel portraits, I have that chunk of white pastel that I use for like little highlights like this and stuff. And it's so much better than like this gel pen, but it kind of works. Get some like little dimples up in there. Like you can't see it on camera and stuff like that, but there's like these little highlights here that I just put in. That's kind of cool. Thanks, kid. Thanks, Lorraine. Thanks, Mama Q. Thanks, everybody. You guys are awesome. I do appreciate you guys. Like, you guys are so supportive of my little art adventures. I don't know what you guys get out of it, but I get a lot out of it. I appreciate it. Get some highlights going on this lip. Problem is this gel marker isn't all that great for doing these type of highlights. It comes off looking too, I don't know, like it doesn't look natural. There we go. He says as he draws a supernatural creature. All right, so that's cool. There is like a few little minor touches I want to do, and then I think we'll call it a night because like I realize some people have to go to work tomorrow, so I try to make these Tuesday ones shorter, more closer to the hour and a half than the 2 hour ones that I do sometimes. Just putting some like shadow underneath here from that lip. Gonna bring that around. Oh, that's something. So like the bottom here should kind of have a reflection light. Can I put that in? Get like a little ridge going on this flap of skin. That's so bad. Like I want to make a realistic flap of skin here that's hanging off of his like skull. Halloween is the only time when you can like do this kind of stuff. Um, and get away with it. Like you should not be drawing pictures of people that have like skin hanging off of them and stuff like that. That's just weird. I like some of these highlights. Well, I don't know. Some people create that kind of art. I shouldn't say you shouldn't. It's not the kind of art that I do. I don't create like really controversial art or anything like that. It'd be kind of cool to be that guy, that actually creates real art, just like these illustrations and stuff like that, like art with meaning. The most meaningful art I do is people's pet portraits, really, because like that's that's important to them. Yeah. All right. I think this is probably as done as I can make this. I don't know what I created here. Like it's basically some kind of creature. Um, I don't know if it's a vampire or a demon. I don't know if it's a dude or a lady. I don't think it matters. It's some supernatural undead creature, but it's kind of cool. I like it. Hopefully you guys like it as well. But yeah, I think we'll probably call this done. It's a shame. I was hoping this episode might be haunted and like we could get like a ghost on camera or something. Nothing ever showed up. It sucks. Um, maybe I should have had my little like ghost detector out. Maybe that would have worked. I'm sorry, no ghosts and spirits showed up to haunt us tonight. But you know how like EVPs work? You guys ever hear of that? That's like electronic voice phenomenon. That's where they go back and watch it later and they hear like ghosts and spirits. Maybe something might show up in the audio. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm gonna rewatch this and listen for that and see if any kind of like haunted material show up. That would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna hold my breath though. Like it would be neat. But never know. All right. So a lot of the features of this do not show up well on camera, but I will post this up on the community tab probably tomorrow so that you guys can get a better look at it. But I like this. Honestly, I should do more portrait paintings now that I look at this because I haven't really tried to do that. Most of my portraits have been done in like pastels and painting isn't something I really tried, but I like the expression on this. I think that's kind of cool. Like it's definitely an angry, vengeful spirit. Um, Whatever it is, it's angry at something, which is kind of cool for the vibe of Halloween. Yeah, this thing just wants to tear somebody up. Hopefully, you guys won't dream about this tonight and have nightmares. But if you do, it's not my fault. I'm just I'm just the messenger. I just draw what the spirits tell me to draw. I'm joking. All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna call this done. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try more paintings of portraits and stuff like that in the future. Um, I feel like maybe in hindsight, in fact, I'm gonna draw that real quick. Sorry, false alarm. I'm gonna do some more teeth up in here because it kind of looks like she's got some weird gaps in her teeth. Let me try to get just really quickly, just kind of pin in some hints at other teeth so that it doesn't just look like she's a bucktooth vampire, or she or he. It. I don't want. There you go. Look how quickly I put in some teeth. It's almost like I'm good at this or something. Put some highlight on the bottom. Because he already had this row of bottom teeth from the skull picture. I think that having those teeth in the top, we kind of put in a hint of one back here. So all I'm doing here is grabbing that gel pen and just kind of like laying down some stuff and then smoothing it out with my my hand. So you kind of got some hints of teeth going up in there. But anyway, I think that's kind of cool. Hopefully you guys feel the same. But yeah, I'm going to call this done. I appreciate so much you guys hanging out with me on Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. Hopefully you guys had a good time. It's probably still early for some of you guys, especially like out west. I hope that you guys enjoy the holiday. Maybe watch some scary movies, some scary TV. There's plenty of it out there. If not, we were talking about Nancy Drew earlier. That's a great show. I don't know why I'm so into it. But like I said, guilty pleasure. I like those kind of teen dramas that are just mindless and stuff. You just meant for you to have some fun. Get some white little last minute fixes. I'm gonna put like a little white line across here, just kind of like to catch the tear coming down because it's some crazy vengeful spirit. Yeah. Round that out a little bit. I don't know if I painted this or drew it. Like it's kind of a combo of the both. All right. The more I work with that, I'm just going to screw it up. So I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This piece shows what happens when a person has to wait too long for fun and answers. I love it. Yep. This was a normal person who just went crazy waiting for fun and answers. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys had a good time. I had a great time. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just not feeling very well. Maybe I caught something or whatever because you can see I'm just not feeling very well right now. So even though I'm fine, I'm gonna hop off because I don't know. Like I picked up a bug or something. It's just causing like weird orifices to start bleeding. It's not pretty. So I'm gonna call this done. Hopefully you guys have a great Halloween. I'll probably be back on Friday with another picture. Don't know what it is. We'll see. All right. Have a good one. Bye. Hopefully this was fun. See ya. Let's see. Where's my end screen?